David Eichel here with HawkeyeInsider.com, part of the 24/7 Sports Network. Pleased to be joined by Iowa recruiting analyst Sean Bach. And Sean, there's been a lot of talk about Iowa trying to get Michael Myslinski, a highly touted center prospect out of Florida. What can you tell us? What's the latest with him?
Yeah, so Iowa was one of the finalists for him. He told me that the final three. He told me last week that the final three were Michigan State, Iowa, and Texas. He took visits to all three campuses, got to get a feel of things. And lately, I mean, the 24/7 Sports crystal ball has been trending Texas for him. I had him on Iowa originally because I heard from multiple sources that Iowa was pretty confident with that, and they were probably his top school, or they were his top school at one point during the process. And I kind of held to that pick for a while, but the recent buzz out of there has mainly been Michigan State and Texas. And I think at the end of the day, just based on what the crystal ball has been saying, that the Longhorns are probably going to come on top of this one. He's got family in the area. They're really good family friends with the offensive line coach down there. And just a lot of factors, I think, really made Texas the likely pick here.
And, continuing down that line, Sean, I mean, a lot of attention was paid to Gunnar Helm, a three-star tight end out of Cherry Creek, Colorado. Had some connections with Iowa quarterback Alex Padilla. It did end up going to Texas. But what's next for Iowa tight end recruiting? Because I know a lot of people have questions because Iowa can continually, churn out NFL prospects to tight end. But I think there's a little bit a sense of frustration that they have not been able to land some of their top tight end targets despite that.
Yeah, so I mean, the number one target on the board still is Council Bluffs Lewis Central, four-star tight end Thomas Fidone, number one tight end in the country. There's no doubt about that. I think that one's either trending LSU or Nebraska's direction more than it's trending Iowa's way. I think Michigan's also having a say in that one too. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that one right now. And another name to mention, another name that's come up is Miami, Ohio tight end commit James Carney. He's from the Lincoln area, Norris to be exact, Norris, Nebraska, and committed to Miami, Ohio. Really emerged the last two weeks ago at the Warren Academy Showcase in Omaha as one of the probably one of the top tight end prospects in the Midwest. And he committed to Miami, Ohio early, rightfully so, because I mean he wanted to get a spot. But as far as like his recruitment goes now, Iowa's a school that's been jumping in there. UCLA, Nebraska as well, and a few other schools have been paying attention. I think Iowa, UCLA, and Nebraska are part of that main crop right now. So that's gonna be a name to know. Tyler Morov Johnson, who's committed to Iowa State, another one. If he gets an offer, I think that could be a potential flip. And then Trace Campbell out of Maryland, out of a private school down there in Maryland, has an offer from Cincinnati Navy. He's more of an athlete at this point, but Iowa likes him at tight end. They're gonna keep tabs on him, see what's up with him, and then we'll see who goes from there. But as far as tight end goes, I wouldn't panic at this point. I think they're still working on some things, obviously with all the racial issues that went on. So they're kind of taking their time with recruiting a little bit. So we'll see what happens over the next few months.
Appreciate the insight, Sean. And as always, stay tuned to the Swarm and HawkeyeInsider.com for the latest in Iowa recruiting.